All right, so we're diving into these PCV valves on this 2012 Wrangler with a 3.6 in it, and I've watched a few videos now, and it just kind of sucks. So this is gonna suck, but we're gonna do it together, and I might have a way to help you out. So let me show you. This is the product we're going after right here. PCV valve, positive crankcase pressure, I believe it is. And the hose, mine is, don't mind all this, I'm in a full like build, so it's a mess. But the hose on the one side will connect right there on the intake, and the other end will be back here behind the passenger side head, right behind that sensor on the back side. And my fender wells are already out, so this is definitely you're gonna have to get into here. It's gonna be right on the back side of here where that ground wire is, right up in here. And the end, there's a hose on this end, and it is extremely hard to get off. Well, at least was for me. I'm about 96,000 miles in this 2012. So what I had to do was get underneath with, it doesn't have to be this, but you know, pry bar extension, anything, and you will work your extension all the way. You see that? I wish it would focus, but there's a hole way up there. That's where the hose is going to be sitting on that PCV valve, and you're just going to push up until you feel it break loose a little bit, and then you can get back up top and wiggle it. But I mean, I was yanking on it up top, and it was not coming loose, and there's a bunch of stuff in your way, and it's just a pain. So get you a long extension, push that sucker up. It's going to be sitting on here really tight. Push it up. It may not come all the way off, but once you have it broke free, it'll be so much easier. For the other end, or for the bolts itself, screws T25. T25 Torx. And even with like a small little ratchet, it's gonna be an absolute pain to get back there and fitted and this and that. So I found a 1/4 inch Craftsman, slid right on there, and you can just get your hand back there, and all you gotta do is pop it just a hair loose, and then it should be finger tight at that point, or at that point you can hold it and then unscrew unscrew these little suckers right here. That's what I found to work best. Like I said, use the pry bar from underneath, push up. You got to get in this side to get one of the bolts on the back side of the head, and then from up top it's going to be sitting like this. So in the fender well, you're going to be able to get this one right here. From up top, you'll be able to get this one up here. Hopefully that helps. I'll show you a little bit more. I'll show you the hose again when I put the new one on. This one definitely was due to be changed. It was leaking oil. It just wasn't doing its job at this point. So there was a lot of oil in this tube itself getting into the intake. Yeah. And then there's some residue on the actual back side of the valve cover. I don't know if it's a valve cover gasket at this point, but my guess would be this is at least one of the culprits. So like I said, I'll show you in here in a second where the hose will be. And the new one itself has these 10mm heads, so it was kind of tough getting the little ones out. So hopefully it's easier to get the big ones back in with an actual ratchet, because we're going to have to use a ratchet or open wrench. So we'll see. Well, I thought I was going to put those 10mm heads in, but maybe I should have looked a little closer. Look at the thread on that, and look at the old one. We're going in with the old ones, so it's going to be the T20. It's going to be the T25 again with the 1/4 inch. All right, she's all back in there. So let me give you a little update. Like I said, from underneath, you're going to have the fender well out. Mine's already been out because I've been doing a bunch of stuff. So I'm not sure what it all takes, the socket sizes, whatnot. But it's gonna be on the back side of that head, right in here. And that's where you're gonna get one of the screws loose. This thing right here, little 1/4 inch T25. It's gonna slide in there. You're just gonna be able to cram your hand in there and, you know, bust it loose, and it'll be finger tight. And I've got the hose back on, so you'll need a pry bar, maybe something thinner than that, so you don't just fight as much as I did. But now the hose is back on the new one, so you can see all the way up in there. Let me see, right there. That is where the hose sits on the old one, and it is a pain in the butt to get off. So just stick something long up there and push on it to get it loose, yank it from the top. And I'm telling you, this thing sucks. So don't think this is gonna be a quick go inside, get something accomplished and have a good day. This is gonna suck. Your arms are gonna get a little tore up. This is what I found worked for me, so hopefully this worked for you. Good luck. Let me know how it goes.